Welcome back to Lemieux Reviews, where we bring you the stories you may not yet have heard of. My name is Lemieux, and today we are bringing you episode 2 of Once and Future. Last episode, we left off with the grandmother holding Duncan at gunpoint, and the bad guys having found the tomb of the king they were looking for. This series is headed by Dan Mora, Kieran Gillian, and Tamara Bonavillin. We hope you enjoy as we pick up where the last one left off. The cover for issue 2 is a reverse of the cover 1, where one held an undead and the reflection of people. This cover has the human main character holding the blade, reflecting the undead. A good play off each other for the first and second installment. We rejoin our heroes back in the car, Duncan complaining that he was never warned about the things that hide in the dark, while being held at gunpoint. Bridget says, would it have really mattered? All you would have done is worried about all the things that creep and crawl. Duncan, battling with the feeling of being lost, confused, like everything is spilling out of his control, at that moment gets a text from Rose, adding on to his problems, as well as asking Bridget why the questing beast showed up when it did. The answer is simple. They're about to head out on a quest. They head uphill to a tower, so they can cross over to the story world at the witching hour, able to do so because the land is haunted by the stories that threaten to swallow people up, given the chance. When they arrive at the tower, 4 ladies of the lake are inside, gather around a stairwell leading down into the catacombs. Down in the catacombs, Elaine and the killers try to unseal the king's tomb, Elaine distracted by a picture of her child. Once they finally open the crypt, they find the king, crown and all. Elaine puts the stolen scabbard on the body, so it can begin to heal. As they reach the bottom, they decide to pull the guns from the backpacks. Duncan and Grant arm themselves for the fight ahead, trying to sneak up on their unsuspecting quarry. And so, with the healing power of Excalibur's scabbard, the skeleton rises from the dead to rejoin the world of the living. Grant and Duncan come upon the scene to see the skeleton body reforming itself, a green light shining from within its eyes, no one moving as the scene in front of them unfolds. The king says a single word in ancient Britannic language that no one around him knows, not yet accustomed to the new age. Reaching over, the king's hand goes into a wall and pulls out a sword. Duncan makes the inference that the sword is the same one as the sword in the stone, to be dissuaded by Grant that it's just a buried sword and not all things are connected. The king stands before them, wanting the men who wish to be his knights to kneel down to him, taking his would-be knight's hand and cutting them. The undead King Arthur, having cut their hands, brings it up to his zombie mouth and licks their blood. The man, horrified, demands an explanation, but is told to wait. After a moment, the king's head snaps to the man, explaining that he is Anglo-Saxon descent. The zombie king grabs him by the face, lifts him up off his feet, and then cuts him in half. Duncan, confused, and Grant explains King Arthur's tale has him fighting foreign invaders who were Anglo-Saxons, and Arthur is very much the British people first type of ruler. The remaining 3 men of the crew open fire, only to be cut down. Elaine then offering her hand up to Arthur after the men are dispatched. Grant, still trying to unravel Elaine's plan, applauds her bravery. Duncan is surprised at the recognition Bridget has towards Elaine, as Arthur tests Elaine's blood, finding she is of Celt descent, and whether she has come there to pay homage. Grant tells Duncan an unpleasant explanation will be forthcoming, that her and Elaine once worked together. Elaine says the men with her were her gift to Arthur, to be his knights as he saw fit. Casting a spell, Arthur commands his knight Sgwain to rise, and the slain men rise and the bodies transform. Now the men are armor-clad and turned into undead loyal knights. With them now at his side, Arthur asks for Merlin, and where he has gone. Elaine says she doesn't know and could not find him, but she has brought one more knight for Arthur. Another man, to the terror of Bridget, the knight to be his Galahad, to bring them the Holy Grail. Figuring out what Elaine is up to, the two try to sneak off, realizing the end of the world may be near. But Duncan gives them away after kicking a rock. Duncan, now having drawn everything's attention to them, they take aim and get ready for the fight of their lives. And that, everyone, is Once and Future Part 2. Man, the art in this is spectacular. When the undead King Arthur smiles, absolutely terrifying. And when his body is reforming and they're showing everything growing back, just attention to the detail is crazy. And then there is the attention to the detail of the lore, in which they mention the Holy Grail, Gawain, and Galahad. The Holy Grail, the cup that held Jesus Christ's blood after he was pierced in the side. Also, in Arthurian legend, the cup is a symbol of a knight's ultimate goal. It's what they all quest for, it's what they all want to achieve. So it shows their purity, loyalty, honor, so on and so forth. Two such knights are largely acquainted with the goal of finding the Grail. It's Percival and it's Galahad. Galahad being the one that actually found it and completed the quest. Galahad is the son of Lancelot and credited in Arthurian legend with being one of the purest knights of the Round Table, unlike his father, who gave in to temptations. And then there's Gawain, the nephew of King Arthur, said to be one of the lazier knights, not much accredited to it, though he is famously known for the Green Knight quest. His mother is Margaux, Arthur's half-sister. And then they mentioned the Merlin, the wizard that was Arthur's closest advisor. And then with this, we completed the book and chapter 2. I want to thank you all for watching, tuning in, and I hope you like, share, subscribe, and see us next time. Thank you very much.